Hi everyone, welcome to the Carson Kids Sensory Series. Today, we will be learning about visual sensation, also known as sight. We will be talking about what visual processing is, what visual hyperresponsive is, what visual hyporesponsive is, and what visual underresponsive is. We will be learning how to address visual processing difficulties at home. Visual processing is the ability to understand information with the eyes. Visual processing can impact a child's ability to discriminate between similar letters, shapes, or objects, and understand where objects are in space, and identify an object when only a part is showing despite having normal vision. A child might be described as visual hyperresponsive, also known as visual overresponsive or visual hypersensitive. This child tends to be a visual sensory avoider. This child responds excessively to sensory input. Any sight could send this child into a negative reaction. For example, this child might be bothered by bright lights and hide from sunlight coming through a window. One way to address this at home is using various types of input to desensitize the sensitive area that is over-responsive. Allow the child to help you determine if a music or an auditory timer will be used to rotate through each input. Start with a soft, dimmed, colored light, for example, a night light. Progress to a slightly brighter and more colorful light, for example, a table lamp with a colored scarf over it. Then progress to a bright and colorful light, for example, an overhead LED light with a colored cloth over it. A child might be described as visual hyporesponsive, also known as visual hyposensitive. This child tends to be a visual sensory seeker. This child does not receive enough sensory input and is constantly looking for ways to get that just right level of input. These sensory seeking behaviors can impact their day because they are not able to focus or attend to a task until they are at that just right level. For example, this child might watch people as they move around the room. One way to address this at home is using various materials to provide input. Allow the child to explore various visual inputs safely. For example, a light bright, a kaleidoscope, or a liquid timer. A child might be described as visual underresponsive. This child exhibits a diminished response to visual sensory input. More sensory input is needed than average in order to get a response. This child can appear to be lazy or tired. For example, this child needs help to find objects that are obvious to others. One way to address this at home is using various materials to provide input. Allow the child to explore various visual inputs safely. For example, a visual rainmaker, a bubble motion timer, or light up toys. Every day we can sense the world around us differently, depending on how we slept, what we ate, or what we did the day before. Our kids that struggle to understand the input the world is giving them can be challenging. It's okay. Try your best to be understanding and patient. Our next few videos will help explain the different senses and what to do to help a child better understand the world around them. To quickly review, visual processing is the ability to interpret information with the eyes, and some of us need help to tolerate the input through various activities. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions or concerns, we would love to hear from you. As always, these videos are not a substitute for medical care. Please always seek the advice of your medical team before implementing any of the strategies discussed here. Until next time.